Hey, what's going on YouTube? I just wanted to share with you guys what I'm working on. I'm out here in my garage and I've got this old 1968 Rokon Trailbreaker now. When I was a boy, my dad's friend had one of these and they used to like drive me around on it all the time, and I like loved that thing. They were pulling me behind the sled and everything with it in the snow and doing all sorts of stuff. So, I had to get one of these, and I've had this probably for 15, 16 years now, something like that. And I kind of took us all apart 5, 6 years ago and put it all back together and got it all cleaned up and everything. But anyways, what I'm going to share with you guys today is that I'm working on electrical setup for this. This originally did not have any sort of electrical stuff on it. It just has the spark on it. It's a Power B 820 engine. It's like a chainsaw engine that runs this thing. And anyways, there's no electronics on it whatsoever. So the kids want to drive this thing at night, so we got this work light for it here in the front, and I got a switch. We're playing around. But what I want to share with you guys is that I picked up this alternator for it, and this actually came from a Kubota tractor. This is a diesel Kubota 12-volt alternator right here, this guy. And originally it has like a little pulley on it like this, and what I was planning on doing was like trying to adapt like a power steering pump pulley like this to the shaft on here, and then maybe mount this alternator kind of up in here somewhere, and then have like a belt drive, and that kind of looked like it was going to work, but I was going to have to find a real skinny belt to fit between the frame. And I got to looking at this alternator here, and on the back side of it, it has, here I'll show you, it's got like an M10 thread from this stud right here. It goes right through, and there's a piece of the shaft that sticks out on this pulley. You can see it back here. And so what I was able to do was drill and tap for an M10. It had some real fine like English thread on there. I don't know, it was like a 32 thread count per inch, something like that. Anyways, I was able to drill it out just a little bit and put an M10 thread in there and actually hard mount this alternator to it. So you see this, when I move this here, it actually moves the transmission. And this is an Albion 3-speed transmission, which is, old English stuff. Here, you can take a look at it. There's the Albion 3-speed transmission on this 68 Rokon. Anyway, so I was looking at the alternator setup from the factory. So you can get a kit for this, but it's like real expensive. And so I was like just looking around at these alternators. I figured I'd try this out and see if it works. Anyway, so I'm gonna, well, I'll say I got a rectifier for it as well, which is here. So I've got this wired up now, where I got the voltage from the alternator coming across to this rectifier voltage regulator thing, and I just got power running up to my light. And I just wanted to just do a quick test, and actually it does work pretty well. I was kind of concerned that it wasn't going to run fast enough, but so the way this works, this is like a slip clutch. So when you're sitting at idle, like this isn't even running at all, but when you're running and driving, this thing's actually putting out enough voltage to run the light. So that's pretty cool. The only thing is it doesn't quite put out enough voltage to like charge a battery unless you're running like long distance at high speed and high RPMs on the engine. So anyways, I just want to share with you guys what I'm doing and what's going on with it. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. And if you have any thoughts on what I can do to make this better, let me know. I could, for instance, go back to like a pulley setup on this to make the alternator run faster, or I could maybe just go ask Rokon to give me their setup. They've got a similar type alternator for this thing, but it's much larger diameter, and so I think they solved it by increasing diameter and maybe increasing the wiring counts. But anyways, I'm pretty happy with the setup. What I'm going to plan on doing now is making a bracket to go on here to kind of bolt this on instead of just having it hanging on the shaft. And then there's another flange down here, so I might make a little bracket down here to hold it, and then we can have something that's a little bit more robust. But anyways, just want to share with you guys what I'm working on. I will see you on the next one. Talk to you later. Thanks.